Yo, welcome back to Skipping Class. This is, I was going to say Kelvin, but this is Ian and this is Kelvin. I'm Jasmine. We're about to go ahead and get right to it because I have a lot to say and I want to hear your guys' opinions on the basketball team, both men's and women. They both lost conference. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, obviously I'm a little bit disappointed. More for the people on the team and the coaching staff and their families and the seniors and all those people that are kind of getting their last opportunity and now it kind of being gone. It's unfortunate for those guys, especially Prince, a dude who got snubbed as MIAA Player of the Year, you know, in all of our opinion. Had a fantastic year, had a great career, just playing a lot of basketball, but at the same time you look at what's next for a lot of these guys, maybe not a lot of them, but a select few. Fidel had a great game as, you know, to end his career, and you assume Prince is probably going to be making the jump overseas to play with Marcus Addison and some of the other guys, Jordan Talbot over there. So, I mean, it just, you can see the footprint of Missouri Southern basketball as far as men's kind of expanding, and as far as the ladies go, they really had a great year. We've talked about how their post presence hasn't really been there, and they're missing a few different key areas, things that really strengthen you to a point of having a team that can be a contender, and we never really saw them as that.
Yeah.
So to win a couple games that maybe we didn't expect them to says a lot about the fight that they've got. So
Yeah. Well, the men first. Prince did get snubbed on his, MIAA Conference Player of the Year.
hard snubbed.
I mean, and that's really debatable. The guy he pitched from Northwest. I mean, he had a great season, and I guess you typically give that award to the best player on the best team.
Sure.
We were only third. We were seeded third in the conference. Double-digit losses. They only had 5 losses this season. Northwest did, so they bought out of their mind this season. They fell to the Lopers, man. The Lopers is a really good team. They're in the conference title game today, or tomorrow. So, I mean, they ran up against a really bad team, a good team. I'm sorry, and they lost. And as far as for the ladies, they fell short of 20 wins, which they reached, back-to-back consecutive seasons. You spoke to the post presidents; they never had that like they've had in the past. And how did they replace Winky? They had Dad, who I thought was a great recruiting piece to bring in, another scorer. I'm wondering how she will evolve into her senior season and be able to lead these ladies. But you lose Winky. They have a lot of pieces, shapers, Jensen down low. Jordan will be coming back from injury. So they need to develop a post presence. They have an array of shooters surrounding those ladies down in the post. Great shooters, young talent. And next year, I wish them the best. They'll be returning, and I expect big things from those ladies last year. There was a lot of good talent, a lot of basketball talent in the MIAA this season, both on the men's and women's. We expect roughly 6 teams for the ladies to get into the big tournament, maybe 4. There were 4 ranked teams and 4 teams with 20-plus wins, so that speaks to the talent, how deep this competition is for the ladies. For the guys, 2 teams, depends what the Lopers do today. If they win, then that guarantees them a spot in. We assume Northwest will automatically be in there. So
yeah, no, they deserve it.
It's a tough year for them. Great success. Wonderful senior night, and it's the off season now. It came early, but it had to come. So
It did. Well, you guys had a fantastic season, so good job to you.
Yeah,
hopefully next season we can come out and really get those rings, since that's what we're looking for. Let's transition over to baseball. So our baseball team lost two of the 3 games over the weekend, and they played Kearney. So how do you guys feel about that, considering that they lost and they was just doing so good?
yeah, well, they dropped their first series. The question was, how would they respond after dropping their first loss of the season? So they responded with dropping a series versus Lopers. And this is something I didn't see coming this early on, but it could be, you could say would have been expected. There is now conference play. So, I mean, they're all that, even though it's not a rivalry amongst most of these teams, it's conference. It's a good baseball conference again also. So, Nebraska, they came in and did their job. Nebraska is around 500 right now, but regardless, we have a ranked team on a ranked opponent in Missouri Southern, so you want to come out and play your best. They hit the road for the first time, and not the first time, but they lose the series. So we'll see how they respond after this.
Yeah, I guess Kearney just has our number from what it sounds like. They're taking us out in every single sport. They're playing well. 2 losses in a row happens in baseball. That's just the reality of things. Is you're going to drop a couple and 4 hits in each game. Bats weren't lighting it up by any means. They got blown out in one, but the other game was close. something that could have swung either way. But I mean, it's what we've talked about before, you know, over and over, is that it's difficult to be a team in this particular division in any sport, really.
Right.
There's just talent all the way across the board, and we had Lindenwood come in here and play some great baseball that we saw, and now Nebraska Kearney shows that they're going to be a good team, and that's just two out of the multitude of teams that are going to be talented in this conference this year. So I think it's good tests early, you know, when you get a little bit of a reality check. And I think one thing that we really need to think about with this baseball team specifically is that they've got a lot of flux, you know, a lot of new guys coming in. You know, you still have your core group of guys, but the pitching staff is something where, you know, you've lost a couple people, and now you've got guys that you're trying to understand, you know, who pitches better in this situation, that situation, who can come out of the bullpen, who cannot, you know. I mean, you got to really iron out all those details. So they're still in that process of understanding themselves and understanding the best way to put the best product on the field. So they're going to get better, and they're going to continue to get better.
Any pressure on these guys now that they're ranked within the top 10? This is a place they haven't been, you know, since we've been here, ranked in the top 10 as good as they are. You think they're paying attention to that? You know, any pressure?
I mean, I feel like it's early to feel pressure, but I think that, yes, you have to pay attention to that. Anytime you have that target on your back, you want to live up to it. I mean, even UFC stuff over the weekend, we watched Conor McGregor talk, and then he didn't back it up. So you don't want to be that guy. No one wants to be in that position. So, well, when you have that label, you want to live up to it. You're defending champions of this and this and this, and it's been, you know, a lot of the reasons that these guys that have transferred here come to this school. Maybe not necessarily just this year, but even Hoffman and some of the big dudes that have come here the last few years, they come here because they know this is a good program. They want to win. So when you have that expectation, you have to live up to that. Not only for, you know, the rankings and for your university and for the paycheck that you're getting, but because that's you, you know, have some self-respect, and you want to be the person, you want to be the team that dominates.
Yeah. Well, I totally understand and agree with you. Let's talk about our Lady Lions softball team. Oh yeah, we lost our games too, but our next game they play Southwest Baptist University. So how do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to take this win, or do you think they're going to fall short? Kill.
Well, they split the series versus, you know, PSU
Right.
This weekend. They won 2-0 the first game. It was a great pitching performance. They took a 6-0 loss to PSU in the game too. These ladies, they have. When speaking to the ladies, they have high expectations for themselves. They are not really expected from the outside looking in not to do well this season. New coach, a lot of young players, but they have a lot of confidence within themselves. Wins and losses, the total number of wins and losses don't really matter to them come in the season. They're playing in the moment they're playing for now, and they have each other's backs. They have a lot of fun out there. I was out there this weekend sitting on the deck. Beautiful day for softball. And they played well. They played, they had a great game, one performance. With it being a rivalry, PSU came back and returned the favor the second game with a 6-0 shutout. So it was fun. It was a great environment. I've seen a couple of hit batters, which was good. And PSU, again, returned the favor. They hit a few Missouri Southern batters.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right here.
Please do.
Answer my question. I want you to answer. Do you think they're going to take this win against Southwest?
I don't know. I mean, I hope so.
Okay.
You know, for their well-being, yes. I hope they do. But we'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
I would say, yeah. I mean, they played well enough against Pitt to where they've got a chance. They seem to be coming together. 10 and 13. I mean, we've made some giant leaps and bounds from where we were previously. So hopefully we can continue to do so.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys can take it. But I have a surprise for everybody. I have my girl Emily Harris off the track team coming in next. She's our first special guest. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Skipping Class. I have my girl Emily with me. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I am excited that you're here. Thank you for coming and being our first. Dang, y'all just interrupt me.
We're excited.
It's cool. It's cool. Emily is a junior here at Southern. She is a distance runner. Do you love running?
I do, yes.
Like a lot?
Yeah.
You would pick running over anything?
Yeah.
Okay. And she's also from Farmington, Missouri. So she's close to us, our Kansas Cityans. So shout out to Emily. So
Yeah.
Emily, they're gonna ask you a few questions, and if I have time, I'm gonna ask you the best question of all. So Kev, take it away.
Okay.
Take it away. First question, and I recall sitting down with you last September
Right.
when we spoke. You said the lowest moment for you following your 2 surgeries was reevaluating your second place finish in nationals last year. So here you are now. You make that journey through cross country. You had a great season there. You finished just short of qualifying for
Yeah.
nationals in cross country.
Yeah.
Now you're qualifying here for track and field for the mile run and also 3K or just mile.
Just a mile.
Just
yeah.
a mile.
Yeah.
How gratifying is it now to look back and say, I'm glad I sat back and reevaluated, just the whole scene, and now you're here in nationals. Now you have a chance to win it all.
Yeah, it's worth it. I mean, for the longest time, I was like, I don't think I could ever qualify. Like, that's just crazy. Like, I was at my bottom last summer, and I was like, there's no way. Everybody's getting a lot better, and I'm just like, gonna stay the same and probably won't get any better. But I just didn't give up, and I'm glad I didn't, because then I qualified, and I was like, yay.
Yeah, what was your motivation behind that? Did you have a lot of different people pushing you, parents, coach background?
Yeah, my coaches were really like, don't give up. It's there. You're talented. You can get it if you work hard. And my parents did everything they could. They took me to Colorado to train over the summer, and I got a lot of great experiences with people that used to run for D2 athletics, like 11-time All-American from Adams State. They gave me a lot of great advice, and they said, your body never forgets how to run and compete. It's just putting in the work, and it's going to be hard some days. And it was, but after I made the climb out of it, it was just like, okay, this is why I do this. So,
Inspiring
Yeah.
stuff.
thanks.
Well, we know a lot about the track team. Obviously, we've talked about it substantially on this show and just in general with our newspaper and everything. It's just perennially been one of the sports at Missouri Southern that's just head and shoulders above everything. Now, being an upperclassman and being a person that's been here for so long, how much of an impact on the team overall, and specifically the younger people that are coming in, people we've seen succeed throughout the time here, but specifically this year, how much is leadership, something that you can obviously bring to the table, really impact those people? How did it impact you previously?
I think when I came in as a freshman, you're always scared because you come out of being the top dog in high school, and you're like, well, all these little kids are following me, and so you start that process over, and you look to latch on to people and learn from them. And when I was a freshman, there were a lot of good upperclassmen, and they taught me hey, this is what you got to do to be good. And so whenever I went through my first 2 years as the underdog, I was like, okay, well, this is what I have to do to be good. And I just kept doing that and wanted to be a leader. And I was just like, okay, what do I do? So I got involved in SAC, which is the athletic committee on campus. And it's just learning those things that you're scared when you're young, just reassuring that it's going to be okay. Like you might have an injury, but it's going to be okay. You just always have to put that in their minds, because they are nervous and they're young, and it's the first time they're being away from their parents, most of them.
Sure.
And so you kind of take on that parent role for them, and just be there for them when they fall and be there when they rise. So it's awesome. It's cool.
Is there one person at Southern? Obviously, Vavra is a person that kind of dominates as far as leadership, at least you would assume.
Yeah.
But is there one person that maybe kind of throughout your time here that has really impacted you and kind of helped mold you to who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Vavra, she's played a big role in it. I mean, being a female coach here for over 20 years, but she doesn't really get to work with us directly. It's more Jamie, our
Sure.
male assistant coach, who does all the distance side, the men and the women. And I think the best thing he did was just take me in whenever I got hurt, and then he just never give up, and was there even when I sucked. I sucked, and it was hard because you know what you are capable of, and then you just keep getting knocked down, and then he was just always there to be like, you can do this, I promise. So I think just having that, and he is a lot like my high school coach too, so it was really easy for me to adjust to their personalities, because they're pretty much the same, and so they could read me as a person, and so it's really nice when someone's there for you. So
Shout out to Mr. Burnham. He's doing big things for this team, apparently.
He is, and your response definitely goes into my question. I know you told me earlier that your favorite quote is, "You only fail when you stop trying."
Right.
So with your response to Ian's, what else or how else does that quote really motivate you?
I think it's just it's just life in general. It doesn't even have to do with running. It can be with schoolwork. It can be with family. It can be with everything. If you are going to accept failing, then you're never going to succeed. So as many times as you fail, you have to realize that you're going to have some success, whether it be very minor or
Yeah,
very major.
absolutely.
I mean, it's just life.
Okay, awesome. Well, great. I have a question for our audience out there. Here's the skipping class question. I know that Friday is nationals for our track team over at PSU, Pitt State. Are you guys gonna go? So is skipping class worth going?
I'm going.
Yeah.
We might skip, we might not.
We need
Well,
the
thank-
Moso presents, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in to Skipping Class. This is Emily Harris. Everybody give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
Kelvin, I will give you applause, but you know you're dabbing. Ian,
Just
and I am Jasmine. See you next time.